How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. My name is Faze Crypto. Today we are talking about DigiByte, and in the context of the current cryptocurrency situation that we're seeing, things aren't necessarily that great. I mean, we can't really break out of that $190 billion market cap as it seems, and things are just generally taking like slowly steps downward. But you know, really what you have to take into consideration when you see the global cap acting the way that it is, honestly, it happens to do with international variables involving regulations, involving what different countries all around the world are going to do involving cryptocurrency, which ultimately does lead into the overall what we see happening as far as the different values of the cryptos are concerned. So a few central things that I could definitely see playing into DigiByte's favor is the fact that it's so widely distributed all around the world, the fact that the public ledger, the decentralized across thousands of computers, keeping track of things that have happened, which is really, keeping things honest is essentially really going to be the central component of these different technologies. Because I think that when it comes to moving into the digital age, it's certainly trust is a huge factor when it comes to any currency. So I mean, we talk about the fact that DigiByte is rapidly growing and it's outpacing a lot of other cryptos, and essentially as we see the way that DigiByte's been positioning themselves, it's really genius stuff. And really the fact that DigiByte is faster than Bitcoin, the fact that DigiByte is faster than most other cryptos, and really the fact that we can see a lot of these things, a lot of people who use PayPal I think are going to move over to DigiByte. Essentially that's sort of seems to be the type of market that DigiByte could really move in on. So I was actually watching this really interesting video by this YouTuber Chris M, and I definitely recommend you guys go and subscribe to this channel because this content was really interesting, talking about the charts for DigiByte and honestly where we can be expecting this technology to be going in the near future. I mean, you look at the fact that DigiByte has made this much progress over a significant period of time, basically back when Bitcoin was reaching its prominent stage. If you guys were paying attention to cryptocurrency back then, in the days when Bitcoin was becoming a household name and not necessarily everybody had heard about it yet, well, at that point DigiByte was still waiting in the background and still gaining up its reputation all along. DigiByte has a history to it that goes hand in hand with Bitcoin in a very interesting way, and essentially the history we've seen with DigiByte has been reflected by a lot of the different things. I mean, since 2014 we've been watching DigiByte going on this very interesting journey, and essentially when it comes to this technology, it's going to be those key significant variables that we think of when we take into consideration the team that's working behind it, data perspective when it comes to where this technology is actually going to go, and essentially where cryptocurrency takes us along the way of the ride. I mean, currently we're still in some early stages of cryptocurrency because still not everybody on Earth has a smartphone, but that's about to change. You think about how many people all around the world are getting on the internet, and it's amazing. Right now, every single year, statistically there's huge margins of increase in internet activity all around the world, and this is creating the global marketplace that's essentially going to be playing into DigiByte's favor in the long term. Now, when we look at what DigiByte's doing right now, I mean, currently at the number 33 position, I would say that there is a high likelihood percent chance that DigiByte does have the probability of being a higher ranked cryptocurrency, because currently I would say that at 2 cents right now, I would say DigiByte is more accurately priced in as far as what they do and how they act. Because think about it, how many people are actually going to the grocery store and using some Bitcoin Diamond or using some Bitcoin to buy a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts? It's just unheard of at this point, which means that my essential point here is that cryptocurrency is not in usage as much as regular fiat currency. People are using the dollar, the yen, the peso, all have that space dominated right now, but that's up for change because the more people are becoming acquainted with using various different digital alternatives that are already in usage, that are being leveraged by credit card companies and different banks and so on. These different things are all catalysts that are going to be playing into the hands of DigiByte as things move forward. I definitely say massive adoption is going to be a very interesting interesting thing as far as DigiByte goes. I mean, and we see all these different partnerships happening involving DigiByte. We see all these different connections that they've been making and developments as far as how they're planning on developing their product when the world essentially comes to the point where everybody's using cryptocurrency as a household name. Now, this could be in 2 years, this could be in 3 years, this could be in 5 years, but ultimately the fact of the matter is that cryptocurrency outperforms the old paradigm. It's very similar to when people were saying that the internet had no chance with taking over TV, but look what happened. Nobody watches cable anymore. Everybody gets their information from the internet because it's an easier, more efficient way of doing things, and that's fundamentally the underlying cause of what's going to be at the heart of the paradigm shift that we're seeing involving cryptocurrency at this point. And DigiByte still kind of holding their own. I mean, they're only negative 2.60 right now, but I mean, you look at it, I mean, they're at least some of the top performers, because very few cryptocurrencies are in the green right now. And then, I mean, of course, other than Emmercoin, which there always just randomly seems to be 1 or 2 cryptocurrencies that do exponentially well in this sort of time. But of course, the cryptos getting hit the hardest are ArtChain, Holo, Bitcoin Diamond. But then again, Bitcoin Diamond is also sort of off. They were doing pretty well towards the beginning of the week when we were seeing everything else was sort of plummeting down, in the overall context of what we were seeing happening to Bitcoin and so forth. I mean, Bitcoin Diamond sort of is just evening out to where it was before this point. But really what we're going to be talking about in this video is how DigiByte in the long term is really strategically setting themselves up in an interesting way that's honestly going to be playing a really significant role in the development of cryptocurrency as things move in totality. What we talk about on this channel quite frequently is the issue of blockchain, and the fact of the matter is that many cryptocurrencies just don't have their ducks in a row when it comes to blockchain, and DigiByte is really the key example of cryptocurrency leveraging blockchain and positioning themselves and using the time that they have right now before the big cryptocurrency boom, and essentially positioning themselves as far as scalability is concerned and performance in such a way so that when we actually see mass adoption taking place, DigiByte will be one of the front and center cryptos that are really an essential point in that conversation. And essentially you could really see that reflected by a lot of the different news articles, DigiByte interesting developments in Q4 that will lead to some really big steps as far as massive adoption is concerned. We see this by the Crypto Recorder, and honestly, I always like to say I don't necessarily trust the news as far as I can throw them, but at the end of the day, the news is a good interesting indication as to where the public consciousness is going when it comes to these sort of things. And I would say that DigiByte certainly is a fan favorite. I mean, you look at the community of DigiByte on Twitter, and certainly, I mean, if the community is any indication of where cryptocurrency is going to go, DigiByte definitely is leveraging that international opportunity that really is going to be one of the cornerstones. Now remember, this video is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I'm not your dad, but I did find it interesting to see how different people were pointing out the fact that Bitcoin adds a 0 every 2 years, and this honestly does play into that whole John McAfee prediction about where we could be seeing Bitcoin's value going in the future. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, you got to look at the basics. The fact of the matter is, people are going to continue to print out new dollar bills. More USD is going to be printed every single day, but they're not making any more Bitcoin. And essentially, that's what's going to be playing into the hands of these big giants in a big way. Essentially, as we see, but it really is a decentralization of that entire thing. So whether or not you're going to choose to hodl, or you're going to choose to panic, or you're going to forget to do your research and you're going to end up in a bad position, my only opinion, and that's pretty much all I can do, is tell you what my opinion is. I'm waiting, and I can't wait to see where these different things are going to go, because there's so much potential for these different cryptocurrencies. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, found it entertaining, educational, useful. Definitely make sure that you check out some of these different links that we've been talking about in this video. I'll be providing some of them in the description. And all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this content. Stay relevant, y'all. I'll see you guys in the next video.